What's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen. Get some.
We got our own kids now, man. Got a couple boys in the barrel, man. I tell you what, ain't nothing will change a man's life like having a daughter. That'll make you reevaluate your shit real quick. Ooh, when my daughter was born, I was just thinking of some of the fucked up shit I've done to women in my life. And I was like, fuck. Because I don't want nobody fucking my daughter, nobody. I hope she grows up to be fat and nasty. I'm gonna feed her cheese fries and chocolate shakes till she's 27. I need a bath. You got a bath last month. Shut up. Nobody loves me. Your daddy loves you. Mother boys want to fuck you. I love you. Here, have a cheeseburger before you go to bed. I'll sit down with a Snickers.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. You can log on at iTunes, look up Gary Owen #GetSome, or search United We Cast, or go to YouTube. Go to my YouTube page, YouTube.com/Gary Owen Com, and that's how you can listen to the greatest podcast in the history of podcast. It's been listen, I've been off for a week, a little over a week since I recorded, because I usually record these podcasts on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was filming Meet the Blacks 2, and we went long, so I didn't have time to film, and then I was traveling the next day to New York. Now, I had some interesting things happen to me this past week. One, I want to thank everybody in Greensboro, North Carolina. They came out last week to see me at the Greensboro Coliseum. And then this past Friday, I was in New Jersey and Newark at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. They call it the NJ Pack. That's one of the most beautiful theaters in the country. And we went in there, we sold it out. And it's just a good feeling, man. I remember just grinding. So now you get these theaters, Coliseum dates, and they're packed. You just feel good, especially when you're the guy that's selling tickets. It's a good feeling. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a great feeling. Hopefully, I'll have that feeling when I come to Cincinnati December 2nd at the Taft Theater, because that's a big one for me, because I got that day circled, and I, as the rap song says, I put on for my city hard. So if December 2nd doesn't sell out, I'm switching teams. I'm no longer, I might move out of Cincy. I might leave the city. If I don't sell out of my own city, I'm just going to roll. What's up, Gary? You room for it now? Buccaneers. I'm going to eat a W. So, I'm going to tell a story what happened to me at the Atlanta airport, though. So I'm flying somewhere I was flying for Meet the Blacks. I was flying I finished shooting the movie Meet the Blacks 2. So I flew into Atlanta, and I landed, and I went to if anybody knows the Atlanta airport, there's A, B, C, D, E gates, but then there's a T gate, and the T gate is the first terminal. The T terminal is the first terminal when you go through security. I don't know why they call it T, though. It should be the A, but it's the T. It's the T terminal. So I'm at the T terminal, and I go to the restroom, and as I'm walking to the restroom, I see this dude, and he's got sweats on and slippers. You know, like they were had Gucci on him or something. I don't know, but anyways, he hits the wall with his shoulder, and I said, "Did he not see that?" And then I went in the restroom, and I get done. I glanced over. He's got his arm up against the wall at the urinal, like he can barely make it. I'm like, damn, that dude's messed up. Now, I don't know if he's coming or going to a flight. I didn't think he was going, because security wouldn't have let him through security acting like he was. So he got done pissing. I wasn't done using the restroom yet. So I get done. I wash my hands. I don't see him. And I walked out of the restroom, and I'm just at the walking through security. So I'm about to leave the airport. And, once you get past security, you can't come back in. So I glanced back right as I was going into security, leaving the airport, and the guy was still standing by the bathroom. I didn't notice him when I walked by. And just as I'm looking at him, like, is he all right? Because he looked like he couldn't even walk. He starts to walk, and he's kind of staggering, and his backpack opens up, and everything started falling out, like his wallet, cash, just a bunch of stuff fell out of his backpack. And one of the guys, there was two guys cleaning the bathroom at the T gates, and one of the guys said, my man, and picked up all his stuff, gave him his stuff, put it back in the backpack, looked at his ticket. So he was clearly at a layover, I guess. And I don't know what the interaction was exactly, but he ended up walking him to his gate. Now, hopefully the guy didn't fly, because he was in no condition to fly. And I was about to say something. I've never said anything to airport security before, but I was about to say, hey, could somebody take care of this guy? And right when I was going to do that, the custodian took care of him. The guy, I don't want to call him custodian. I don't know what the job title is, but one of the guys cleaning the bathroom at the T gates at the Atlanta airport helped him out. And on my Instagram page, I even I did a video hoping somebody would know. I meant to tell this story earlier. This past Monday, November 13th, I was at the Atlanta airport, the T gates. I just came out of the bathroom and this dude was drunk. Like, he was pissing, he was up against the wall, and he walked out and his backpack opened up and he's kind of staggering. His money fell out, his wallet, a bunch of stuff fell out. And everybody just walked by him, like ignored him. He was clearly drunk, staggering. And the guy that was cleaning the toilets came out, the janitor there, and helped him. Grabbed his money, grabbed his wallet, and said, "Brother, man, what's up?" Walked him to his gate and made sure he was all right. Everybody else walked by him and ignored him. But the guy cleaning our piss and our shit, probably making the least amount of money in that airport, stopped and helped this dude. So I just want to say thank you when I saw it. So the brother cleaning the men's bathroom on the T-Gates Atlanta Airport at 1:15 p.m. this past Monday, I saw you. Thank you. And then I had some people DM me and send me Facebook messages and said, I know the supervisor at the Atlanta airport. We're going to check the tape and the work log. So hopefully they found who the guy was that helped the guy, and he, I don't know, got a bonus, got something a little extra, because he really went out of his way when everybody else was walking by him. And it wasn't like, when I say people was walking by him, it wasn't like people was walking by him and ignoring him on purpose. It was just, you're at the airport, you're trying to get to your gates. I don't notice people a lot of times. So I don't want to make it look like there was a bunch of rude people at the Atlanta airport. You wouldn't notice them if he was just standing there. It was just when all his stuff started to fall out, then everybody noticed. But then the guy just kind of took control. So I don't know who that guy was, but I saw it, and I just want to tell him thanks. And if I ever go, and I fly through Atlanta all the time, but hopefully if I run into him again, I'm like, I'll throw him a couple dollars, $2. So couple dollars. But we finished shooting Meet the Blacks 2, and that's going to come out October 31st, 2018. While I was in New York also, I filmed Wendy Williams, and it's like my third, fourth time doing Wendy. I always have a good time there. She's never come at me sideways, because I know a lot of people have issues with her, but I never have. She's always been cool with me. But it's funny, when I posted I'm going to be on Wendy Williams, or I posted an interview, I see all these people just coming at me. You going on Wendy Williams and she's evil and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, listen, guys, her job is to talk about, entertainment gossip. And she gives her opinion. You don't have to like her. She's not trying to be politically correct, so to speak. She's not trying to appease everybody. She's giving her opinion. And what I told her, because she was talking about the Cardi B, Jocelyn Love and hip hop beef and rap. And she was like, I don't think Cardi B should respond because she's bigger than Jocelyn. And what do you think? And I said, yeah, she should respond. And she goes, no, this is pointless. Da, da, da. And I said, well, we're talking about it. So whatever Jocelyn did, she might not be as big as Cardi B. We're sitting here talking about it. And then Wendy goes, oh, well, let's stop. And I was like, see? So I like hip-hop beefs. I like Love and Hip Hop. That's the only reason I watch them, is for the arguments and the beefs. As long as nobody's getting hurt physically, that's why we watch it. And if you can't tell, a lot of that stuff is, I don't think all of it stays, but a lot of it is they're led a certain direction, so to speak. They're led a certain way. That's what they are. So I've been home last couple of days, and I read the paper, and this guy in Kentucky, he got convicted of I don't know what you want to call it. Here's what he did. He messed around with his girlfriend's daughter, and he said he thought it was his girlfriend. He didn't know. That was his defense. And I'm like, I've heard of some doozies. That's a good one. Never heard of that one. He said he thought it was his girlfriend. I don't want to laugh at it because the circumstances, but I'm just thinking he must have got with his lawyer. It was like, what can we do? We got caught red-handed. Oh, I know. I thought it was her. They look so much alike. And it doesn't help it happen in Kentucky. Of all states. All right, man. No, I thought it was her, man. Nope. All right, then. No, guess I go to jail. So, but this has been open season on entertainers since I've been back on the air. I gotta give a big shout out to Terry Crews. He came out against a dude that said he tried to touch him in a way, and I'm just like, whoa. And then Terry Crews posted today on Twitter. He said, Radar Online sent him a threat saying they're going to post this article that Terry ordered 2 prostitutes back in 2015 somewhere in some city, and he goes, and Terry like reposted it and said, I knew they were going to try to come after me when I, because he didn't go after like a low. He went against a high exec, like a high level dude who reps big dudes. So, obviously, I just think it's funny how Terry he's like, I'm ready for it. Bring it. Bring your lies. I'm ready to go. I respect Terry so much. I mean, I love that dude. He's just a good brother. I don't know anybody that's ever worked with him that had anything bad to say about him. And he ain't making it up. Why would he? He got nothing to gain, and it's embarrassing for a man. It's not even just a man, a big dude, like a big, strong ex-NFL player. And then another agent at CAA, he got fired. A girl came and said they met at a coffee bean, and he was promising her like parts in TV shows and parts in movies. And it's, CAA, which is a big, if you don't know the agency, it's a big agency in Hollywood. And he was offering her like roles and parts, and CAA is going to rep you. And then none of it was happening. And he was sleeping with her the whole time. And then finally the girl told the agency, and they looked into it and they found out, he was doing that. So he got fired. And then we all know about Harvey Weinstein. So we ain't got to get into that. That's old news. But Louis C.K. was the shocker. Louis C.K. was the shocking one. Louis C.K. was just jacking off in front of girls and other comedians. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Louis, out of everything that I've heard, Louis C.K. is the least, I don't know, how can I word it? It's the least of the bad, because he didn't force anybody to do anything. He didn't touch anybody. He didn't promise anybody anything. What he said was he used his power. He abused his power. But listen, one, he's jacking off in front of all these different girls, but he's in his hotel room. He's asking. I'm not saying he's right, but he's asking. He's in a hotel room. And I just tell girls, I'll tell my daughters, anybody, don't go to a guy's hotel room. Don't. Because any guy, if he's asking to go to his room, he wants to fuck. Or in Louis C.K. incident, he wants to jack off. And have you watch. Just don't go to, even a lot of the cases with the Harvey Weinstein stuff. Now, I'm not saying Harvey's right. I'm not saying what he did was right at all. But I'm saying, if you have a meeting with Harvey Weinstein in a hotel lobby or a hotel restaurant, stay there. Do not go up to his room. Don't. It's easy. Just don't do it. Don't go to his room, because I'm telling you what guys want. I don't care what time of day it is, anything. That's what they want. If a guy says, hey, you want to go to the room, watch a movie? We don't want to watch a movie. I'm letting you know. I don't care how good that movie is. We don't want to watch a movie. We're not trying to show you a funny video on our phone or our laptop. We don't want to show you the view. We don't want to show you how nice our room is. No. Dude's asking to his room. What's fuck? That's it. That is it. Don't go to the room. Or he wants to jack off. Louis C.K. That's the one it's mind-boggling to me, because I don't like seeing myself jack off. I will jack off in my hotel and catch a glimpse and went, oh, God. Oh, God, I look ridiculous. Oh, my God. I don't like seeing a view of myself, let alone somebody else gonna see me. Hell no. I don't get that at all. And this has been years. And the thing about just entertainment business, and I love it because I'm in it. I'm not going to be like, it's a dirty business and I hate it. No, I love it. I love the whole game of it and everything. I mean, I love it because the beauty of the entertainment business is you can get that call tomorrow. You can get a call tomorrow and you don't know what it's about. This thing, I went to New York last week. I did Wendy Williams. I did the NFL Network, Good Morning Football. And I did this show on Viceland called De Sousa Mero. Oh, now that's a good interview. If you go to my YouTube page or just go to YouTube and look them up, those guys, they're the future. They'll have a big deal in less than 5 years at a major network. for some kind of talk show. I don't know if it's going to be late night, midday. I don't know, but they're good. The vibe's good. They ask all the good questions. It's just, I had a good time on that show, man. I really did. I posted an interview on my YouTube page. So the same people that are looking for this podcast, you can find that interview on my YouTube page. But what I was getting at was, so I'm going to New York to do the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, and I ended up getting, 3 TV appearances, all because I was just going to be in town. And all of them came within a week of each other. So I didn't know I was going to have all that stuff when I got there, but that's the beauty of the entertainment business. And you never know who's watching stuff. You never know who's watching your interviews and be like, hey, okay, I like that dude, or that guy, okay, he seems cool. So people would be like, I don't like the entertainment business. I'm like, just like the same people would be like, I miss my privacy. That's the one thing I miss. I was like, no, you don't. You don't miss it. You get into that. We are an ego-driven business, entertainment business. Now, I will say I love getting recognized and I love people telling me they love my work. But I will say it gets weird in the approach sometimes. Sometimes people are so obnoxious in the approach. That's what I don't like. You just stand there, hey, Gary, I'm trying to blow up your spot. You just did, brother. You just did. You were so loud. I tell you, one of the smoothest people ever came up to me, and I don't know if I've told this story before or not, but I was in Columbus, Ohio. I'm at the mall. I'm at a shoe store. And this 14-year-old kid came up and just went, hey, what's up, Gary? Real subtle. And I go, what's up, man? We just start talking shoes for like 20 minutes. And then at the very end, he goes, hey, man, mom, I get a picture? It was so just like subtle and smooth. I go, see, that's how you go up to people. And I get awkward too. Like if I see somebody and I don't know if they know me, but I like their work, I want to go up and say hi. And I don't do it all the time. And then I'll meet them later on and they'll be like, why didn't you come up to me and say hi? I was like, I didn't know how you was going to react. So I didn't know. That's why I didn't say nothing. As I'm recording this, I'm watching the Cowboys-Eagles game as we speak. So whether the Eagles win or lose this game, I'm going to get my Super Bowl picks early this week. And I might shock some people because I'm still going with the Eagles in the NFC. And regardless of what happens in this Dallas game. In the AFC, and I know people are going to think there's no way he cannot say Pittsburgh after what Pittsburgh did to Tennessee. But after I saw what New England did to Oakland today in Mexico City, the same way the Steelers treat the Cincinnati Bengals like we're their little stepbrother, New England does that to Pittsburgh. New England's got their number. So until I see Pittsburgh beat New England, I'm going to go with New England. So I might be shocking people because I know people think after what Pittsburgh did to Tennessee, I was like, after I saw New England, I was like, I got to go New England until Pittsburgh proves me wrong. And they play in a couple weeks. They got a chance to do that. Now, it's been 2 weeks since I've reported on Bengals game. I went to the Tennessee Titans game. Man, Bengals had AJ Green finally catches the ball. It's a 70-yard bomb. Bengals go up, and I thought we had them. I was like, that's it. And then they just drove right down the field and scored. And I think it was bullshit what the refs were doing to Vontaze because I really think they were provoking him. And I'm not being a homer on this. I saw the way they was treating him. And then to kick somebody out for basically you made contact with Vontaze. He didn't make contact with you, ref. You told him to hold, and then he just gave like a little arm up, not worth being ejected. He didn't like physically assault the ref or push him or try to be like, get out of my way. He was literally trying to get by like, dude, I got to get back to the huddle. It wasn't worth getting kicked out. If it would have been a flag, I'd be like, all right, yeah. I still don't agree with it, but I wouldn't be talking about it. But you kicked him out for that little thing? Come on now. And then it come to find out the refs were jonesing on him and cussing at him. I don't get it. They got it out for him for some reason. And then he comes back this week, and the Bengals go to Denver, and this was, for Denver and Cincinnati, this was both their seasons on the line because, you come in, you're 3-6, you got a chance to be 4-6, and I was listening to the game, and they said, and since the NFL went to 6 teams going to the playoffs, there's been like over 90 teams that have started the season 3-7. None of them made the playoffs. Usually one or two when they get these weird statistics make it. None. So essentially they're saying this is it for one of these teams, and the team that wins actually is still playing for something. And Cincinnati won. So now they're 4-6. And if you look at the AFC playoff picture, it's dang near every team is 4-6 or 5-5 fighting for those wild card playoff spots. You got New England and Pittsburgh just run away with the division. Jacksonville's getting a little separation at 7-3. After that, everybody's like 5-5 and 4-6. Somebody's going to make the playoffs at 9-7 or 8-8 this year. That's guaranteed. Somebody. And I'm a homer, and I know that. I'm looking at the Bengals schedule, and they got Cleveland coming up. We should beat them. So that should be 5-6. And then Pittsburgh comes to town on Monday Night Football. But I'm so disappointed in our offensive line. They're really bad. I'm still going to root for them. I'm still pulling for them. But please, in the draft, get an offensive lineman. Please, guys. Or some free agents. Because everyone gets on Andy Dalton about the Bengals. And I think Andy's a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. He's definitely not like a Brady Manning type. But he's good. He's serviceable. And you can't say it's Andy Dalton when you don't have a running game. Because if you don't have a running game, then it's the offensive line. And then if he's getting sacked more than everybody else, it's not all on him. If you're going to ask me, do we need a new quarterback, draft a quarterback or offensive lineman? I'm saying draft the offensive lineman. Without question, we need a tackle. A mean tackle, too. Somebody with a mean streak, like never knew his dad type tackle. Like raised by a mom on grits. Lived in a trailer or rundown house in the South. I definitely want to be from the South. Walked him and his 5 brothers to school. And they all had Converse All-Stars from 3rd grade to 6th. Just wore them out. That's what I want. So, the Bengals have hope. And when they have hope, I have hope. I'm going to do a crazy stepdad story. This one is kind of funny. Like, when I first started doing stand-up, you're trying to find your voice and everything. And, I always like black girls. I've always liked black girls. And it took me a while on stand-up to start talking about that. Like, I really like black girls. And then, when I first started stand-up, I went to my hometown, and I'd only been doing stand-up probably 6 months. And I went to my hometown, and I did this show, and like the whole town came out. I grew up in a little town called Oxford, Ohio. So the whole town came out. And then, but I didn't really have my voice. The jokes were really bad. They were kind of, stocky. You've heard of them. It wasn't nothing brilliant coming out of my mouth. And then a year later, I came back to my hometown and did a show again in Oxford. And this time I'm in my groove. I had been on Comic View. I wasn't the host yet, but I had been on Comic View. And I had been doing stand-up so much in that year. I grew so much. So now I come back and I'm doing good on all my shows. And so I go to my hometown and, I get on stage and I was talking about, I like black girls. Now, when I say I like black girls, it's funny when you say that shit on stage because some people take it as I'm bashing white girls or Asian girls, Latina girls. I don't do that. I don't put another girl down to say I like this girl. So I always just be like, I like black girls. I don't ever put white girls down. Like I don't like white girls because of this, or I don't like Asian girls because of this, or I don't like Latino girls because of this. I don't do that. I just always said I just like black girls. So I'm doing my show. I'm talking about I like black girls. So the show went pretty good. It's done. It's over with. So the next morning, I'm at my mom and stepdad's place, and I see my mom. I go, "Hey, Mom, do you like the show?" She goes, "Yeah, it's pretty good." My stepdad comes up, wakes up, and he goes, "Hey, man, we got to talk." He's pissed. I'm like, what the hell is he mad about? Now, keep in mind, I don't live at home anymore, so I can leave. So it's not like I need to deal with his shit anymore. So he goes, "Hey, man, how you going to get on stage and up there talking about you like black girls and stuff? And you know your mom's in the audience and your grandmother's in the audience. They're white. And you going to talk about this stuff and they're sitting in the audience." I'm like, I don't want to fuck them. I'm not talking about them. He was so upset about that. That's the only show he ever came to. That's the only comedy show I ever came to. He was so mad about that. And there was no, I've done numerous hour specials, numerous TV appearances. And even before I fell out with him, he just never came. They never came to support me in anything. Even when I came back to Cincy or anything and I was making it, he never came out. So it's just funny to me that he was so mad about that. Of all the things to get mad about. And then I was, so I'm replaying in my head, and I'm like, I didn't say anything bad about white girls or anything like that. I don't know. Another crazy stepdad story. It's not going to stop. They just keep coming. It's hard for me to talk about my stepdad because there's just so much. And I don't want to go on a tangent on one podcast because I want to spread it out. And I don't want people to just tune into the podcast like, oh, you're going to talk about a stepdad for an hour again. Because I could. I mean, just the stuff that he did. Irrational behavior, man. Dude's out of control. NBA basketball. I didn't see this coming. I did not see the Celtics beating the Warriors at all. The thing about the Celtics, it's crazy because I don't think people are really taking them serious still. I think they're like, yeah, it's cool. But and I think there is some validity to the fact that LeBron's not locked in and a lot of the Warriors aren't locked in yet. Because once you get to the playoffs, that's a whole nother ballgame. And Boston doesn't have a lot of guys that have that kind of experience with that kind of pressure going on. And even Kyrie doesn't. Kyrie's never been in the playoffs where he's the man. Even when he made it, he was number 2. So, I think it's going to be Cleveland and Boston, and I think Cleveland's going to pull it out. But and I think the same in the West. People are talking about Houston. Houston's got just as good a record. They might have a better record than Golden State. But I don't think people are truly thinking they're going to beat Golden State in the playoffs. They really don't. I'll tell you, though, New Orleans is playing well, and they only got 2 people. But they're going to be in the playoffs, and that's a team that a lot of people don't want to play in the playoffs because they got 2 bigs. Man, I'm just thinking, if I'm a point guard, I want to go there. If I'm a point guard and don't want to shoot first, I want to go there. The other big thing that happened in basketball was the middle ball brother, the one that everybody says is the worst of the 3, which is still saying you're a really good ball player. Saying you're the worst in the ball family is a compliment still. But the names, I get the names confused because you got Lavar, Lonzo, LiAngelo. I think it's LiAngelo's the one at UCLA. Yeah, so LiAngelo Ball is in China, and him and 2 other guys on the team go and steal, not out of one store, because originally it was just reported they went in Louis Vuitton and stole some sunglasses. No. They went in like 3 high-end stores and was stealing. You got to realize they don't play that shit. And Japan and China and Iran and Iraq and Dubai, they don't play that shit. No, that is not America. They are like fuck second chances. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he said when he was over in China, a guy got put to death for embezzling money. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't hurt anybody physically. Embezzling money, they murdered his ass. They don't play that. So when I saw that, my first thing was somebody better get Yao Ming on the phone. That's who I'm calling in China. Call Yao. We got to get these guys home. They said they were facing like 10 years in prison. Oh, my God. But the UCLA coaches worked with the government, and then Donald Trump spoke with the head of China and got him to pardon him and let him back. And, the guys thanked Donald Trump. And Donald Trump's done a lot of things wrong. Trust me. I'm not doing this to say I support him. What I am getting at is the fact that now that they're back, Lavar Ball doesn't want to give Donald Trump any credit. Listen, man, that's my kid. I don't care what people say about Donald Trump. I don't care what his policies are. I don't care. I don't have to agree with none of it. My kid is facing 10 years in prison in China, and you got him home? Yeah, we're thanking him. And I'm not saying anything bad about him. If he does something I don't like, I'm just not going to say anything bad about him. It's kind of like when I see a stand-up not do well, or I'm watching Saturday Night Live and they don't have a good opening monologue or something. I don't comment on it. I just be like, that sucked to myself. But I ain't going to comment on it. Same thing. If Donald Trump got my kid home, you will never hear me say anything bad about Donald Trump. Ever. All that other shit goes to the side when you talk about your family like that. Now, if it was my stepdad, he could have kept his ass in China. Now, if it was my stepdad stole that shit, I would have called Donald Trump. I said, you better not get him home. You better keep his ass in China. You better not make that call, Mr. Trump. That should have been the trade right there. We'll give you Gary stepdad for these 3 ball players. You can do whatever you want to him. Hard labor, poison them. I don't give a shit. I would have been mad that Donald Trump got him home. I would have been mad at Donald Trump. Hey, you feel about Donald Trump getting your stepdad home? Man, fuck Donald Trump. Kept his ass in China. I'd have been so mad. Like, why didn't you bring him home like that? But it is thing. Any parent, listen to this. Any parent, as much as you hate Donald Trump, as much as he does some dirty shit. I'll be the first to admit, dirty. Your kid's in China, facing 10 years in prison. Donald Trump makes the call to get him home. Nah, you just got to say, hey, man, thank you. And then don't badmouth him anymore. I can't believe Lavar Ball went that route. I'm shocked. I don't give a shit about playing to your fan base or your audience at that point. When you talk about your kids, nah, I don't care. He made that, and then it was funny because then Donald Trump's like, I should have kept his ass in prison. I'm just thinking, what are those 3 kids thinking, man? What are they thinking? I've been to Dubai before. When I went to Dubai, it's crazy over there because it's actually it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I went there right before everybody got wind of it. I went over there like in 2001. And I came back telling everybody about this place called Dubai. And then it was like literally like the next year, people started to come. And what I found out was the sheikh that took over control of Dubai, he wanted to really make it westernized and top of the line stuff. So he was paying like Tiger Woods millions to ensure him showing up when they would have a golf one of the golf pro-am tournaments there. And then he was like giving, I think, Venus and Serena extra cash too to ensure they would show up at these tennis tournaments in Dubai. And he just wanted to make sure. And all the roads were look new. The neighborhoods look new. The hotels were plush. But I went to the mall and I'm walking around and I hear hip hop music. I hear top 40 music. And it's, the stores are the stores. There's a Timberland store, there's a North Face store, just the run of the mill mall stores in the mall. And there's Gucci and Louis Vuitton, all the other stuff too. But I see a lot of the girls covered up, the Muslim girls. And I knew I'm not winking. I'm not waving. I'm not saying hi. I put my head down. I put my head down like I was a Muslim woman. I said, I just wasn't taking no chances. It wasn't worth it. I didn't want to wave. Nothing. They walked by me and put my head down. And the same thing goes for these UCLA, the 3 basketball players in China. You got to know better, man. You this ain't the Fox Hill Mall in LA. This ain't the Beverly Center. Or, it's not the bookstore at UCLA. I'm thinking they're in the hotel room. They're in China. What? Who? I mean, who says, oh, yeah, let's do that? I don't get it. And you got to know, you go in the high-end stores, it's a lot harder to steal than like Target or Walmart. And plus, the Ball family is supposed to be doing all right. So, yeah, why are you stealing? I don't get that. But I think I stole one thing in my whole life. I stole a brownie when I was like 5 years old. And I walked down, I sat in my mom's car, and then she came out and she was like, did you steal that? And I was like, no. And then the little store owner was like, he took the brownie. And I had to bring the brownie back in and apologize. And so I didn't even get to eat it. I don't know why I stole a brownie. And then another time, I was like 7 or 8, I found this guy's wallet. I found a wallet one time. I lived in this apartment complex. And I found a wallet. And now keep in mind, I don't know how much money was in it. It seemed like a lot back then. It could have been $40, but as a 7-year-old, it seemed like $4,000 was in the wallet. Because it was one of those wallets that was real thick. Like he had way too much stuff in it. He had like a Subway card and credit cards and like a Blockbuster card. And then he had cash in it and then like phone numbers and stuff. And like the kind of barely fits in your back pocket. And I found it and I turned it into the front desk area of where the apartment complex was. And they found the guy and the guy gave me $1. And I was like, I should have kept that goddamn wallet. I thought he'd give me a 10 or something. Dude gave me and then gave me $1 like, there you go. There you go. See? Do good things. Good things come to you. It's $1, bro. It's $1. It's funny how how money works as you get older and you look back on some of the things you've done that could be offensive to people. Like that dude gave me $1. I was a little offended by that. I remember the first time I ordered a drink at a bar and I was old. I was over 21. I didn't know what tipping was. I didn't know what a good tip was, what a bad tip was. So I remember I ordered a beer. I'll never forget this as long as I live. Ordered a beer. Beer was $4.75. I gave the bartender $5. So the bartender puts a quarter on the bar. I literally take my middle finger and I tap the quarter and I go, my man, that's for you. And I slid it across to him. So he took that quarter and flicked it. Like did one of them hard flicks and was like, keep it. Keep it. He flicked that summit. And then they're like, I moved. And I was looking at my friends like, why is he being a dick? And they was like, Gary, you offended him. I said, what do you mean I offended him? He goes, it was $4.75. You gave him a quarter? I go, what? I didn't know what tipping was. I didn't know what a good tip was. I never ordered a beer before. So it's like the fact that I tapped the quarter, my man, that's for you. I don't know what I thought he was going to say. Like, damn, thanks, baller. Damn, you doing it big. I just didn't know. Another thing that's funny, too, talking about, I don't want to get on a drinking episode, but I remember when I was in the military, all my military buddies, we just drank beer when we went out to bars. That's all we drank was beers. So if you say, I'm going to get a round, this shit's like $10. If three of you and you get 3 beers, $3, $4 a piece, it's nothing. I remember the first time I was not in the military and I started hanging out with brothers in the entertainment business and I'm still drinking beers. And I'll never forget, I was in Dallas, Texas working on something. I was with a couple actors and I said, I'll get this round. And I'm used to a round being, like I said, $10, $15. So I order a beer. One brother orders a Hennessy. The other brother orders a double Long Island or something. And that bartender's like, oh, yeah, $35. I was like, what the fuck? I said, hold on. I'm not getting no more rounds because my drinks don't cost as much as yours. I'm the cheap date here, fellas. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not buying rounds no more. That's over with. This shit's expensive. I think I took a deep breath when that waitress came. $35. What? Oh, God. Did I say Hennessy? I'm sorry. I mean, you look like Florence Henderson. Yeah, my fault. Excuse me. Thanksgiving's coming up. I've said this joke on stage before, but it's funny. Like, we rotate houses every year to go to Thanksgiving. And it's funny. My wife always makes Thanksgiving dinner regardless. And I remember I would ask her, like, why are you always making Thanksgiving dinner? And she's like, I ain't eating that bland bullshit. We go to my family's house. It is a bit bland. I'm not going to admit. It is a bit bland. Now, the argument in a lot of interracial couples' households is sweet potato or pumpkin. Now, I like pumpkin. I ain't going to lie. I like it better. I do. A good pumpkin pie. And I've had people make pumpkin pies. There's a restaurant throughout the Midwest called Frisch's Big Boy. Frisch's Big Boy has the best pumpkin pies. Not even close. And I hate when people try to pawn them off like they made them because it comes in a box and then the pumpkin pie's in this little tin pie pan. Stop acting like you made that. Everybody knows what Frisch's pumpkin pie tastes like. Honestly, I give you more respect if you walk in with a Frisch's box. I go, okay, you knew where to get some pumpkin pie. I see you. You knew where to get it. Then I'll eat a piece of that pumpkin pie. It's like one time I went over to this dude's house. I'll never forget. I was in Columbia, South Carolina years ago. And this dude, he gave me this whole song and dance about I'm gonna do these military bases, man. And he told me he could give me like $100K. And when he said that, I went, really? He goes, but it ain't gonna be one show. It's gonna be like 10 shows over the course of like 3 weeks. And I was like, $100K. And at that time in my career, I was like, I never heard of money like that for stand-up. So that he goes, come to my house, I'll give you the spiel, right? So I go to his house in Columbia and I bring my road manager with me. So we're over there. I'm not lying. This dude had some chicken in the oven. He had some fried rice on the table already and like some vegetables. So he takes this chicken out of the oven like he made it. So we sit down to eat dinner. Everybody knows what Kentucky Fried Chicken tastes like. You can't fake that. I took a bite of that chicken and I went, there's no way he's trying to front like he made this chicken. He was trying to front like he made the chicken. Everybody look at Kentucky Fried Chicken. The fact that he had the oven on and like, not only the oven, he had an apron on and he took it out with like the heat gloves. You know, the gloves you put on so your hands don't get burnt. He took the chicken. He had the chicken in a pan and everything. I was like, I took one bite and texted my road manager. I go, this motherfucker bullshit. And then, so now I'm like, okay, the fried rice is bought, clearly. I don't know where this dessert came from, but that's bought, clearly. The sides were bought, clearly. But the thing about it, he got the sides from a different restaurant because they weren't Kentucky Fried Chicken sides. But everybody knows what their coleslaw tastes like. I was like, this dude, and sure enough, those dates never happened. In fact, he would call me and be like, hey, man, you got through the first round. Or he would say there's like 4 rounds. They got to send my stuff over and I have to get approval from these military, whatever bases. So he was like, hey, you got through the first round, got through the second round. He goes, all right, man, one more round to go. Got to the third one. And then I never heard from him again. And I'm like, this dude. And the thing about it, since then, I've been overseas numerous times and done numerous military bases with reputable promoters and guys that have these military accounts. And I love doing the military bases. I just like traveling and seeing different cultures is what I really like. The shows are just a byproduct of it. But the dude, I still can't believe he tried to pawn off like he made Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like he had the secret recipe. We always wonder what that secret recipe is. He had it. Yeah, man, I'm friends with the Colonel. We good. Yeah. No, he's like, man, this tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nah, Kentucky Fried Chicken tastes like this. So anyways, listen, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I'm actually not working this week, which is great. I'm going to be off this weekend. I'm going to go watch some high school football in Ohio. I actually went to a high school football game last week. It's the first Friday I've had off since football season started. And there's this school called Winton Woods in Cincinnati. Man, they got this running back. He's number 28. His name is Wendy Williams. That dude needs a birth certificate check. That is not a 15-year-old boy. That dude was running the ball, and I was like, who is that kid? And his mom looked back like, that's my baby. I said, well, what you been feeding him? She goes, I breastfed him. I said, till he was 18? The dude is a man-child. Look out for this dude in a couple years. Wendy Williams is his name. That dude is a monster. I'm telling you, I haven't had my podcast for years, but I told people years ago to look out for Luke Kennard, who played in Franklin, Ohio, and went to Duke, and now he's with the Detroit Pistons. I told people a couple years ago to look out for this guy, David Montgomery, who is now the starting tailback at Iowa State and is like 90% of their offense. He's sophomore, beast. And I'm telling people, look out for this dude, Wendy Williams. He's only a sophomore. He's at a high school called Winton Woods in Cincinnati, Ohio. Watch out for this dude. That's a man-child. And he's a real, like, 15, 16-year-old kid. I was like, good Lord. Monster. So I'm off this week. I'm going to go see him play. In Ohio, they're down to the Final Four. Like, there's different divisions, but it's the Final Four teams in the state left. So I'm going to go. And then December 2nd, I am in Cincinnati at the Taft Theater. Everybody better be out. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. I hope everybody has a great, safe Thanksgiving. Work out that morning and then work out the next day. But eat like a pig on that day, that Thursday. I'm going to eat a whole Frisch's pie, pumpkin pie. So, all right, y'all. I had a good time today. I'll see you next week. # get some.